वाञ्छा कल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्यश्च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंदा। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्णा।
Hare Krishna. So today is 26 or 28?
We covered two shlokas.
Correct. Today, which one to start, Prabhu?
Next
28,
Prabhu,
Prabhu.
next.
28.
This one we have done. Yeah.
Okay. Let somebody read. So we'll read the purport. Then His Grace Goswami Gopinath Prabhu will give his final comments.
I don't know.
Okay, start. Who is supposed to read?
It's Varsha Mataji. I think she is not present. Shall I read, Prabhuji?
Yeah, please go ahead.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Text Srimad Bhagavatam 1.12.28. Jijasasi tat atma yatatyo munirvyasa sutad asauhitvedam nripa gangayam yashyati adau kutubhayam. Translation Srila Prabhupada ki jai. After inquiring about proper self-knowledge from the son of Vyasadeva, who will be a great philosopher, he will renounce all material attachment and achieve a life of fearlessness. Purport: material knowledge means ignorance of the knowledge of one's own self. Philosophy means to seek after the right knowledge of one's own self or the knowledge of self realization. Without self realization, philosophy is dry speculation or a waste of time and energy. Srimad Bhagavatam gives the right knowledge of one's own self, and by hearing Srimad Bhagavatam, one can get free from material attachment and enter into the kingdom of fearlessness. This material world is fearfulness. Its prisoners are always fearful as within a prison house. In the prison house, no one can violate the jail rules and regulations, and violating the rules means another term of extension of prison life. Similarly, we in this material existence are always fearful. This fearfulness is called anxiety. Everyone in the material life, in all species and varieties of life, is full of anxieties, either by breaking or without breaking the laws of nature. Liberation or mukti means getting relief from these constant anxieties. This is possible only when the anxiety is changed to the devotional service of the Lord. Srimad Bhagavatam gives us the chance to change the quality of anxiety from matter to spirit. This is done in the association of a learned philosopher like the self realized Shukadeva Goswami, the great son of Sri Vyasadeva Maharaja. Maharaja Parikshit, after receiving the warning of his death, took advantage of this opportunity by association with Shukadeva Goswami and achieved the desired result. There is a sort of imitation of this reciting and hearing of Srimad Bhagavatam by professional men and their foolish audience. Or the foolish audience thinks that they will get free from the clutches of material existence, material attachment, and attain the life of fearlessness. Such imitative hearing of Srimad Bhagavatam is a caricature only, and one should not be misled by such performance of Bhagavatam Sapta undertaken by ridiculous, greedy fellows to maintain an establishment of material enjoyment. Hare Krishna.
Yeah, maybe we can request His Grace Goswami Gopinath Prabhu to speak. Yeah.
You all start, then I will start.
Share some thoughts on this.
No, you start. I'll done.
Okay, Mataji, then you share your comments. Then
Yeah. Okay, Prabhuji. What I understood is here it is told that in this material world we are always fearful, and only proper self knowledge or Atma Jnana when we receive that, then only we can move away from anxiety and fearfulness, and to not being fearful. So that self-realization, I don't know actually what exactly self-realization. Atmagyan, they tell that is a knowledge. I think it is a knowledge that, yeah, they tell that even the knowledge of Brahman, and I think I don't know what exactly self-realization. I think that the soul, the supreme soul is within us. That is self-realization. Because I don't know how to get self-realization. So here it's told that by reading Srimad Bhagavatam, one can attain self-realization and get free from this material thing and get into the kingdom of fearlessness. See, in this material world, we are always fearful. We are fearful for our job, our life, our daily means, for our kids, for our family. So, like the enlightened souls and the self-realized souls are not fearful, but the other souls like us, like the common people, we are always fearful of one or the other thing. So tomorrow, what will happen to this or that? Tomorrow, if something happens, what will happen? So we are always in a state of anxiety and fearfulness. This fearfulness we can get away only through the thing of Srimad Bhagavatam knowledge, because it gives us a supreme knowledge. And even in Bhagavad Gita, when Krishna tells to Arjuna, Arjuna, do not fear, Mama Bhaktyana Pranishyati. That is, my devotee will not perish. So do not fear for anything, because my devotee, I ensure that he will not perish simply like others perish. Even if he perishes, he will always, Krishna will remember him, and we can remember Krishna at the moment of death, and we need not come back to this again cycle of birth and death. But here similarly it was like, if anybody of us is told that we are going to die within 7 days, we will be very fearful, we'll get frightened, people will think what to do, who to write the property to, or whatever little bit things we have, who to share it, give it, and all that plans we make. But Maharaja Parikshit, being a pure devotee, he did not think about all that things. He was more into, he thought that this time he should be spent in remembering the supreme personality of Godhead, because from whom himself he knew about Lord Krishna, and he was a very pure and very protected devotee of the Lord. So he did not fear about any material attachment. So from Sri Vyasadeva's son Shukadeva Goswami, he decided to renounce all material attachment and achieve a life of fearlessness by going through this Srimad Bhagavatam from the sacred rishi like Shukadeva Goswami. So that is what it shows, that we are living in this world, material world. It is a prison. In fear, in prison we are always in fear. Tomorrow some natural calamity come, tomorrow some accident will happen, our health how it will be, our wealth how it will go, will we get this, will we get that. That is why we should not they tell that this is dukkhalayam ashashvatam, the material world. So here when we think that okay, this all the personal enjoyment things which we have is our permanent thing, that is a wrong notion. Only the self-realized souls will realize that this is all wrong notion, and they realize that this is not correct, and they have to take the lotus feet of Lord for their ultimate self-realization, and to get away from this anxiety and this fearful world. That is what I understood, Prabhuji. Hare
Thank you,
Krishna.
Mataji. Thank you very much. Yeah, this background is that how Parishit will be glorified. So previous verse also we could see that how a lot of comparison is done. So how Parishit Maharaj. So here also he's talking about, so he will acquire knowledge of from the Sukadeva Goswami, the son of Vyasadeva. And so how he'll renounce the material world. That's Prabhupada talks about. Now I'll hand over to Goswami Gopinath Prabhu to speak. And one question you asked, what is self-realization? Maybe Prabhu will answer, then we'll move on.
What is self-realization? Hare Krishna. Am I audible?
Yes, Prabhuji, you are audible.
Okay. So this is a wonderful purport. So this one theme comes out clearly in this purport, is that hearing, Shravanam, the importance of hearing is given. So as you said, Sukadeva Goswami, no, 7 days before, yeah, I'm going to die. So he was attentive hearing. But most of us, we don't have that fear. That's why sometimes we might try to hear, but not so attentive as Parishit Maharaj. So there is wonderful shloka in reference to that, last Sunday, one of Srila Prabhupada disciple talked about it is Shunvatam Swagata Krishna Punya Shravana Kirtanaha Hirdayantistohi Abhadrani Vidunodi Sugrut Satham. So the translation is one who hears Krishna's Supreme Personality of Paramatma's hearing is katha, it cleanses our heart. So if I ask somebody like, some of you might be practicing bhakti for say 2 years. Anybody is practicing more than 5 years? Or more than a year, let's say more than a year. Is any one of you practicing bhakti for more than a year?
Devotees can unmute and speak.
Most of you?
Yes, Prabhuji.
Okay. If I give a scale, inch tape, or liter, water measurement, if I give, how much bhakti you have progressed? How do you measure? Prabhu, I've joined year back. How do you measure your progress of bhakti? If you want scale, I'll give you a scale. If you want a liter to measure, I will give. You want anything else, I'll give. Inch tape or whatever it is. How do you measure the bhakti? The answers are, by the way, it is there in the purport translation itself. So you don't need to think outside this shloka. But yeah, indirectly it is given here. So how do you measure one is progressing in the bhakti?
My understanding is that Prabhuji, it is only if we can't measure ourselves, it can be done with association only.
Say done by?
So,
Association.
association with other devotees, Prabhuji. Higher devotees.
We
Hare
are doing
Krishna.
association now. Whom you will go and ask?
Our spiritual master, Siksha Guru.
Okay. So they may not be accessible all the time, but you should also know you're progressing or not, right?
Yes, Prabhuji.
How do
One
we
is
measure?
one is we are able to do or not. Whatever the instructions given, we are able to follow it or not. So that, but exact measure, I'm not sure.
See, there are devotees who follow involvement in Krishna Seva. See, there are so many devotees. They do very wonderful Seva. Suddenly, after 15-20 years of Seva, they are not there. There are so many cases I can tell you. Does that mean they progressed in Krishna consciousness? And you will not believe, oh, such a nice devotee was regularly doing it. Maybe for profit, or it could be somebody is glorifying me, so I want to do that service. Or I might have interior motives which I might do that sincerely, right? We don't know, right? Externally, you can't make it out. There could be, there are devotees very sincere, but suddenly one day they are not there. There are many stories, right? Many examples. So how do you say that now if I'm involved in the service, I'm doing seva, then it is progress in Krishna consciousness? Any other thought?
Others can share whatever you think.
There must be some, yeah, you're all sort of right. I wouldn't say it's all wrong answer. It can be more specific. That's what I'm driving it. Yes, of course, you can ask your spiritual master, taste to the seva. I'm not denying these are wrong answer.
Maybe when we
Hare
have
Krishna.
less material attachment, we are not that more into having so many expectations and desires. Our desires get reduced and we surrender to the will of the God. Maybe that time we feel like, okay, we are improving. Previously, we had so many desires. Now we feel like, no, whatever happens, let God's will be done.
Very
May
good.
He is the protector. Huh? So
Yes,
that is what I
Shruti.
feel.
So
Yeah.
in Bhagavatam itself, the answer is given, right? Vasudeva Bhagavati Bhakti Yoga Prayojita Janayateshu Vairagyam. So one is that Vairagya will develop. The Bhakti has two sense. One is the Vairagya, means the detachment from the material things, which is given in the translation. Second thing is the knowledge. The two things, right, in the translation Prabhupada given, after acquiring about proper self-knowledge, then he will renounce all material attachment. He's talking about the same thing. Bhakti has to produce two things. One is that you have a detachment from the material things. Second thing is the knowledge. By developing knowledge, you will the vairagya will automatically, you will get it. This is the outcome. So year on year or Ekadasi to Ekadasi, month on month, you need to see how much I have attachment for so much possessions, how much I have eager to hear, how much I'm as again to do seva, how much I'm eager to take the knowledge, right? So now acquiring knowledge, since we are talking about here in the purport knowledge, actually acquiring knowledge, it may be advantage, may not be advantage. We know in Bhagavad Gita, Arjuna would know everything. There are 5 reasons he gives. You know why Arjuna could not able to take a decision whether to fight or not? He has to surrender to Krishna. He knows too much things. He says, Krishna, what you think? Dharma Shastra, I can't kill my guru. What will you kill your guru? He asked that question. Then he said, if I kill, all the men will die, and the women will become, unwanted progeny will come. Varna Shankara will become. What do you think? He didn't allow Krishna to speak. He was quoting so much thing. Pindadan will stop, custom will stop. What do you think? Why are you asking me to do? How can you kill your father? And especially, grand uncle, things like that. And, your own teacher, will you kill Sandipani Muni? And you are asking me to do? Because if you don't know, you will ask Krishna, I don't know, tell me. Arjuna knew everything. Dharma Shastra, Manu Shastra, all the Shastra he knew. He started quoting different things. Sometimes what happens is the knowledge what we try to acquire. See, there are various levels of bhakti, right? Ado Shraddha, Sadhu Sangha, Bhajana Kriya, Anartha Nivarti. If a devotee who is still in Anartha Nivarti is trying to understand this knowledge, it is still on the material platform. In the sense, the knowledge is transcendental, but our senses are still material. Unless one comes into the platform of Bhava Prema, actual understanding of this transcendental knowledge is very difficult. Till then, we'll be using our material mind. That's why Prabhupada says at the end of the purport, there are a lot of professional reciters. They know in and out. They can beautifully orate. But the outcome, if you see, they will not become a devotee. The person who is hearing, they will not become a devotee. Whereas a simple person, he may not know, but he simply says Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And the transformation takes in the other persons because the Bhakti Devi, the Bhakti goes through another Bhakta. See how the Bhakti you will get a Bhakti. Somebody says, how do you get Bhakti? Bhakti gets through another Bhakta. Another Bhakta can only give Bhakti. There is no other way you can get the Bhakti. Right? So why this association Prabhupada emphasizing is that at least the Bhakti would come through another pure devotee only. You might read, you might understand through your speculation knowledge, or you might understand, you might well versed with Bhagavatam. That does not mean that you are entitled to get Bhakti. Bhakti can come from another Bhakta. That's why one is important, realization. So there are people who can recite the shlokas reverse way also Bhagavad Gita, but they may not realize it. The realization comes only by serving another Vaishnavas. In the Bhagavatam, it is explained, how will you get a ruchi for hearing? How would you get ruchi for hearing Srimad Bhagavatam? When you get ruchi only by serving other Vaishnavas, when other Vaishnavas being served in the association, then Krishna feels very happy. Oh, he's trying to serve my devotee. Let me cleanse his heart. That's how the process. The process is you have to constantly hear. In order to hear constantly, you have to serve the Vaishnavas. When you serve the Vaishnavas, the heart will be cleansed. Once the heart is cleansed, then you will have ruchi to hear. When you hear, then you get the self-realization. You come to the Bhava Prema stage, then you realize this matter. Otherwise, it will remain in the material intelligence. There are intelligence also two classified, material and spiritual. What are we are trying to process now? Even though it's transcendental, it is still at the platform of mental. Our material intelligence, we are trying to understand things. That's not wrong. It can be spiritualized, but I'm telling still, this subject matter cannot be just, it is English, I understood English, or I know Sanskrit, I understood, I know all the shloka. It does not mean it is self-realized. The realization will come only, Anarthas goes. For Anartha going, you have to serve the Vaishnavas. In order to serve the Vaishnavas, you have to, in the association, read Srimad Bhagavatam. So that's what it was. Shrunvata Swata Krishna Punya Shravana Kirtana he is telling. Never day we say Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya. Right? So then it cleanses the heart. So it is a very, wonderful purport Prabhupada has given. One, it is telling in the bhakti how you progress. One is the material detachment. Second thing is the knowledge. The knowledge is just not knowledge, self-realized knowledge, which can come from the self-realized person. How much are the professional reciters try to learn this Bhagavatam knowledge? It is just knowledge at the platform of his mental, which is still not material intelligence, may not be spiritual intelligence. So that's what couple of things I want to talk about it, and probably I'll hand over to Prabhu to add more. Or are there any other
Devotees can also
reflection on
share.
this what I spoke?
Yeah, devotees can share your comments or questions. Since we have Prabhu here, we can ask any questions also.
How do
Yes.
we know whether a person is self-realized or not, Prabhuji? What are the traits when they speak that will realize that he is self-realized or not? Because as you told, people will speak on Srimad Bhagavatam nicely, everyone speaks and all those stuff. But how do you know whether that person has attained self-realization or not? How can we know that?
Yeah, in Bhagavad Gita also, Arjuna asked the same question to Krishna. What is a self-realized soul like? Look like? How does he speak?
He walks, how he
How
talks.
do you walk? How do you talks? Right? That's wonderful session. You can go through that. In short, we will not be able to make out who is a realized person because I am not on that platform. So if somebody is asking, one time Prabhupada was challenged, have you seen God? Prabhupada said, if I say yes, have you seen God? You don't know. So if I say yes or no, how does it matter to you, right? You don't know. When I say yes, you don't know anything, right? You are not seeing the God. So there's no point in me asking you know God or not. Yeah, I'm seeing God. If I say yes, what you will do? You don't know who is God. So similarly, that person is realized. Only I will know when I'm realized. I'm not realized. So what would be the parameters Acharya is telling? Yes, is he bona fide? He's coming in the parampara or Guru parampara or not. And whatever messages he speaks, that is bona fide, because as long as he repeats the word of the previous Acharya, that is realized knowledge, right? Because that is realized by somebody, but I'm repeating it. So if unadulterated message is coming from that bona fide person who is in the parampara, then the message is self-realized message. The person may be speaking, may be realized or not realized, but he is speaking the absolute truth. So that way, the person who is hearing can become self-realized. So not necessarily, most of the time, the speaker may not be realized, but the person who is sincerely hearing, they can make much more advancement. Like in the story of Gokarna and Tundibi, Gokarna and who is that? Tundibi, what is his name?
Stepbrother.
His son, his brother.
Stepbrother.
So Gokarna was speaking, and his brother was in the form of a ghost. He was listening, and he went first back to Godhead. Then Gokarna asked, "Hang on, why I am not going? I spoke Bhagavatam." He said that attentiveness on which you did not speak, but your brother was listening to it. So most of the time, the speaker might be repeating what the words of the previous Acharya. He may not be realized, but it does not mean that the person who is hearing cannot go back to Godhead. In fact, it could be most of the time the speaker may not go back and the hearer might go back. It is how much attentive eagerness one is hearing. Of course, the person who is speaking needs to be speak from what of the previous Acharya spoke. He may not be realized person. That you will know only when you are realized the other person is realized or not. Or another realized person says he is a realized person. There is no way you can go and make it out. As long as it is in bona fide sampradaya coming, it is not unadulterated, you can hear.
Is it okay, Mataji?
Yes, Prabhuji. Yes, Prabhu. Thank you. Hare Krishna.
Others, okay, maybe each one can share. Maybe
Because it is internal thing. You can't measure somebody is realized or not. Externally, you can't make it out. Who is realized, who is not realized. In Chaitanya Charitamrita, there are a lot of beautiful pastimes. You see this Acharyas, Pundarika Vidyanati.
Mhm.
And, So there are devotees, he said, what kind of person is he? Then they realized it. So that way it is not external thing. You will not be able to make out who is realized, who is not realized. It is internal thing. There is no measurement. As long as he is coming in the parampara, yes, you can hear from him. We did not worry about whether he is realized or not. Of course, it matters, but yeah, as long as you hear the pure message, you will be able to progress. Okay. And the bhakti will come through that realized person. It is most of the time the pure personality who can give bhakti to others. And bhakti on her own, she will not come to you. And no other means she would come. It will come only through another bhakta. That's why we say bhakti lada bija. And we say own bhakyavan jiva, guru prasade paya, bhakti lada bija, right? We talked about that, right? That bhakti lada bija comes only through the initiating spiritual master. The seed or the bhakti comes through him, the pure Vaishnavas, only it comes. Otherwise, it doesn't come.
Okay, thank you.
So, Asha Mataji, want to share some thoughts?
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. I'm still a beginner. So Prabhuji asked, how do you measure whether you are progressing? I think so when we look at ourselves, are we making any progress? Like there are certain things to be followed. Are we following it or not? And I think today I was somewhere held up, and I know at 9 o'clock is my Bhagavatam class. So I was feeling they're separated, but I made it a point to come and join. I think so that is one way I'm feeling that I'm associating with this, because I felt there, no, that's not the place I have to be. I have to be here in Bhagavatam class. Maybe that is one thing which measures our progress. Maybe, I think, I don't know. I'm still a
Yeah,
beginner.
it is a detached from material thing. You don't want other activities. You want to be in Krishna conscious activity, which means you are detaching from it. Maybe I don't know what activity it was holding up. It
I
may not
was
be that
there in
pure as
shopping somewhere, but that was not my. With someone else I went, but I said no, I have to reach at 9 o'clock.
yeah. So
That
this
was
is
my.
like
It was taking time. That's why I'm late. Otherwise, I'm usually on time.
yeah.
But
So
the
see,
class
it will
started
fall under
after I reaching here.
yeah. This will definitely fall under two categories, like you detach from material, or you are eager to learn the self-realized knowledge. You want to learn the knowledge. So that way, yes, you are progressing. It will fall under this two category only.
Thank you, Mataji.
And also, there is nothing called stagnation in bhakti. Either you progress or you go down. So why we have to measure it, Prabhu? Why should I measure it? I'm stagnated. Some devotees say stagnated for many years. There is no stagnation happens in bhakti. Either you go up or either you go down. So that way, if we don't measure it, then we are not progressing. Then we know that we are going down. It's not no stagnation. It's matter of time that devotee will fall down. So we should never be stagnated in bhakti. Say, Prabhu, last 1 year I've been like that. There is something wrong. So always make sure that we are progressing and make that measurement effort, make an effort. Generally, devotees to advanced devotees, Ekadasi to Ekadasi, how much I could able to read, am I able to hear it properly? I'm able to do good chanting or not? Oh, if that is not, oh, let me rectify. How do I do that? Or am I able to do, deity worship properly or not? Or any other seva? They keep checking every 15 days once. It's always a good meditation. Every Ekadasi, 5-10 minutes, you can write your diary, check. I really progressed from last 15 days to this 15 days. If something goes wrong, then pray to Vaishnavas. Immediately go and seek your immediate counselors or the devotees whom are you connect. Probably this is the problem I'm facing. I've seen that this has gone down. Are there any other alternative? Are there something else I can do? So that way, anything we do, we review it, right? It be school children progress, we go and review it. It is annual appraisal. You are working in the office, your manager will appraise you. He'll give you a high promotion, whatever it is. Nobody just gives like that. Anything you do, you will go and review it. You will go and check what is happening, the progress. You are constructing house. You don't sleep after 1 or 2 years. You go say there's a building is stood up. You go and check how much material they have done, how much construction has, how many floor they have raised it, whether it should give money or not. Everywhere you check, even you're cooking, you have to check whether it is cooked or not. You can't just close your eyes and say it will be all done. No, you will keep checking, right? You have to turn the chapatis, otherwise it will burn. So similarly, bhakti also will burn if you don't check it out. How can we say that only bhakti I will not check, other things I will check? You tell me, you go on the scooter petrol also, you will check how much mileage it has given, how much less mileage, I mean the meter has come down. I have to go and put the petrol. You check, everything you check, right? You tell me one thing which you don't check. Similarly, bhakti, how can we say that we should not be checking it? So that way, it is very, very important activity to check regularly. Then only we know, because this is the most important thing than others. As Mataji was telling, she wanted to attend here. So if this is the most important, then regularly we should have a scale and check how much my bhakti is increased, how many centimeters it is increased.
Prabhuji, I have one more question. I was writing down this diary, whether I chanted 16 rounds, how I progressed from one round to next round and then 16 rounds. And when I reached 16 rounds, and I used to hear and I used to write down what I heard that particular day. But in between, it had stopped. Is it, and I have not started after that recording it, but I'm doing. So is it necessary to record it for longer time?
Absolutely. So what happens is, in general practice, if you see previously when we are used to attend satsang, we used to have a scorecard, or we should have a sadhana card. In that we used to record and send it to. So one thing is recording yourself. Nobody's going to look at it. It is your self-consciousness. If you record it and send to your counselor or your mentor, then there is oh, I need to do it. That discipline comes. See, it does not matter. Even a prime minister, president, he needs to have somebody to guide him. That's why the king, even though he's powerful, he would always listen to the ministers. So always there will be a person above you, even though how powerful you are. Even Prime Minister of India, he would listen to some of his minister, or there will be officials, IAS, IPS officers who would give him what to speak, what or how action needs to be taken. Of course, he finally takes the decision, but the input all comes from them. So similarly, anyone who is there, unless somebody is monitoring you, and when you progress, you monitor somebody below you, and so above you, you should have one more person whom you have to report. It could be your Guru Maharaj, or it could be whoever it is. If that topmost position is not there, there's nobody check, even though you write your personal, that may not have that sincere as like we are all hearing now. Can anybody say I am hearing just like how Parshit Maharaj was hearing? He knew he's going to die in 7 days, and he's a pure devotee. So his intensity is different, and he can keep on hearing. He didn't drink, he didn't sleep for 7 days. How many of us can continue tonight and hear? We can't do that, right? Like Parshit Maharaj, the enthusiasm on which hearing, we are not at that level. So when you have somebody superior, even though you record it, when you record that time, that makes a difference. So better always you voluntarily accept somebody saying, Prabhu, I will send my sadhana report, or I'm documenting. Some of them you can reveal, may not be all of them, but at least. Then what happens is your progress, sincerity doubles, multiplies. And this is the general practice. You're asking whether it is necessary. If you do it, you progress fast. If you don't do it, we don't force anybody to do it. But if you don't, if you're not doing it, yeah, you will make a progress that you will only know.
Thank you, Mataji.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Who else? Mariam Param Prabhu, want to share something?
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Yes.
Very precisely handled. Yeah.
What did you like, Prabhu? What is the one takeaway? If you want to say, today I've learned this, I want to try to implement, what is that one thing you would say? Or anybody for that matter, not only Mariappan, anybody who was not spoken. Anything, one point which you liked it, you may not do it, but you will like to attempt. I spoke many points. Ramesh Prabhu, Archana Mataji, Google Pixel 7. I don't know.
Lakshmi Mataji.
Lakshmi Mataji.
Hare Krishna.
Understand, Mataji, go ahead.
This sadhu sangha I should not leave.
Excellent.
till my last breath, I should listen. That is the thing, Prabhuji.
Yeah. See, sometime we might go up and down. It is common based on our
Yeah,
karma
I'm able to hear.
situation. We might go down on the path of bhakti, but one thing can always bring it back is this sadhu sangha. When sadhu sangha is not there, other things will go wrong. But when sadhu sangha is there, there'll be ups and downs in bhakti, but you'll catch up sometime because association will keep on constantly reminding about Krishna and the bhakti. So the person who is taken what do you say, that I will never leave sadhu sangha, there is no fall down. He will never fall down. But if there are other than other things they try, they might be there after some time. They might there are chances that they might deviate. But as long as you decided that I will never miss out this sadhu sangha, come whatever, then there is no way you will fall down. There is no way you will fall down.
Thank you very much. Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Archana Mataji, you want to say something?
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Prabhuji, I today's takeaway is that I never used to do that. Is Prabhuji said, no, we have to make a note the how we progress in the bhakti. I'll start doing that one. Thank you, Prabhuji.
Yeah, you can record this Ekadasi. Then next Ekadasi, somebody is not able to write regularly, then they can visit Ekadasi to Ekadasi. Write something at least, whatever frequency you feel, like 5 minutes it will take, Ekadasi to Ekadasi, that's okay. 15 days once I can spend 5 minutes for Krishna. Is that too much to ask? Please do it. Somebody can do it regularly, do it. If not, at least do it weekly, or if not, at least do it fortnightly. If not, at least do it monthly. If not, at least do it yearly. Wherever you want to start, you start, but don't stop in between. Whatever you can do, you continue to do that.
Prabhuji, just a question, how to be constant, I mean, how to be regular in this? Because I know sometimes, we can come out of this Krishna consciousness or from the bhakti thing. How to be regular with that? I mean,
That's I
you
told
said
you already. My answer
like,
I've already told you. You should have some superior whom you want to report to.
Hmm.
And also you keep mentoring your juniors. That's how each one teach one by taught by someone else. That's our mantra. So even though I'm talking about like this, but I need to have some mentor or senior whom I openly go and speak and tell them this is my problem, or this is what I'm progressing, or I'm not progressing, I have issue. Right? It is no one is like and the perfect right. It does not matter number of years in the experience, number of how you progress, because we are all struggling in the boat. Sometime I might be doing good, sometime you might be doing good. So you can also advise to me so that we hold each other, help each other, then progress in the bhakti. That's how it works. So always, unless you're not going to have somebody who is a superior, who is not monitoring you, then the sincerity will not come. Let's say the students, you give all the material and you study yourself, and there's a teacher to monitor. Which school will? So the students obviously need somebody to, do a test to conduct. If there is no teacher, there's nothing is there, then they may not study, right? Similarly, for us also it's applicable. It's not only student. We want to be a little sincere. You need to have. So this is another subject matter. See, association. Again, if I talk about it again, I will not finish. Association has again different levels of association. Like I have some disease. I go every day to the hospital. I sit in the veranda and I come back after 1 hour. Every day I sincerely go 365 days. I went without missing exact time I went. Will my disease will get cured?
no,
Why? I went sincere, I had association. I went to the hospital.
yeah,
What did you do in the association? That's important, right? Another person is going, taking the appointment, he's going, consulting the doctor, and the doctor gives a prescription, and he did not took the tablet. Will we get cured?
no, Prabhuji.
Why? He took, he did the proper process. He went properly on time. He went, he met the doctor every month. He's meeting every month. He's giving prescription, but he's not taking the tablet.
He's not taking that tablet.
Okay. Third person is going and he taking the tablet. What will happen?
He will
So
be
in
cured.
association also, it can be various levels. I'm associating because I like Prasadeshwar Prabhu, right? Nothing else. So the association can be at high level, even though it is satsanga, it's even the spiritual. I also go, but I don't inquire about it. I don't openly open my heart and talk to my superiors. This is a challenge I have. what is the use? It is like association, Prabhu, on time I came, not even one day I missed it. But have you implemented? When I asked what is the takeaway one day you want to implement it, that was I was driving. It is not that we just hear and go, and tomorrow you come for a hearing again. So what is that I learned today, and how can I implement it in my life? That's what I was driving. Everyone tell me what is it you take away, what is it you want to implement. So that way, what happens is then you open your heart, you ask this question, then try to implement it something. Then the prescription, you are adapting the prescription. This somebody is given a prescription, but if I don't follow the prescription, you think that I'll get cured? Maybe, because it's all spiritual, but it might take time. We don't know.
Thank you. Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
So the association, we need to have another session separately. There is a separate shloka in Bhagavatam. What kind of different type of association? Association is not just not coming together online. That of course has some benefit. I'm not saying there is no benefit. It has a lot of shukruti in it, but I told you the example of patients, right? Unless you're going to do the prescription, it will take longer time. Maybe environment is nice. You might sit in the hospital and come, maybe, but we don't know.
Yeah. Uma Shankar Prabhu.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Thanks for the class, wonderful class. One thing I recently heard one of the lecture from Radheshyam Prabhuji. He told that we should do the Prema Bhakti round. So after the prescribed round of 16 rounds, how many rounds you have chanted? That is the Prema Bhakti rounds that you have to record it so that you can improve in the spiritual powers.
Very nice
Hare
point.
Krishna.
Very nice point. Wonderful point, bro.
Yeah. Who else? Shruti Mataji, anything else you want to add?
No, Prabhuji, I understood that we have to do association and we have to reduce our material desires, and we have to keep a notebook from Ekadashi to Ekadashi, seeing how much progress we have done. This way, we'll see the progress in our bhakti. That's what I understood. Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Yeah. Who else? Mariappan Prabhu, that time.
Also, most of time, yesterday, I think you've been having this satsanga. If I ask day for yesterday, what is it we have discussed? Including me, I can't tell. But what happens is when you make a notes, right? See how this memory works. It is even practical for simple kids also. Today, this teacher would have taught. They always say, go and revise in the evening. When you revise it, 50% of which you will stay in your mind. The next day, one more revision needs to happen. Then whenever he studies after 1 month or 2 months, he just need to revise once, he will remember everything. But if he is just listening, today he did not practice, tomorrow also he did not try to revise, and suddenly exam, one day before exam, he will try to do that, he will not remember anything. So always there needs to be, when you're writing down, when you're speaking, you're taking down, or after this session, you're writing your diary, then one registration happens. Next day, tomorrow, when you write it, just before that, you go and revise it, what is it I taught yesterday, what it has been taught yesterday, then highly it's likely that at least 10-20% of it will remain in your head. Otherwise you will not know what I've spoken day for yesterday. Of course, this has internally your consciousness getting purified. I'm not telling there is nothing wrong in it, but what happens is it's more effective when you note it down, when you revise it tomorrow. Then what happens is then you will remember something, at least the concept wise, what is that we spoke, discussed, that all will come into your mind. So there is something nice, good, make a note of it. And tomorrow you revise it before attending the class, then you will most likely to remember this. Even for students or anybody materially they want successful, writing is definitely helpful, and next day revising it definitely goes into the head.
Yes. Mariappan Prabhu, any last words?
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Am I audible now?
Yes, now better. Yeah.
Prabhuji, we're very much thankful to both of you for the wonderful class. And Prabhuji, I feel I'm almost for the past 2 years in the Krishna consciousness, and I feel my life is completely drastically changed. I feel all my schedule is changed. I'm a retired personnel, so full time I'm able to concentrate on devotional services, and I'm from single digit of chanting. I have reached to 16 rounds of chanting. I'm trying to Hare Krishna, and I'm trying to trying to improve the quality of attentive chanting, and I don't know how far I'm able to progress. That I'm as you said, I have to ascertain with some of my seniors and monitoring personalities, and I'm trying to follow all sadhana guidelines, whatever is being issued time to time from ISKCON, and strictly adhering to prasadam only, and but still I'm hesitant to think about initiation or any other this thing, strict procedures. I must check up with my spiritual instructor, and I must fall in the proper this thing. But otherwise, I feel I'm completely changed, and even my entertainment is only on Krishna consciousness. Even all my daily schedules are completely involved with Krishna and Krishna related activities. Apart from my routine basical duties, that way I feel I have come along reasonably good progress, but it has to be systematic, and it has to be ensured with some mentor monitoring superior, Prabhuji. That much I have realized, and I
Wonderful.
need definitely I need some superior monitoring personality from ISKCON. That much I have understood, Prabhuji.
Wonderful, Prabhu. You pray to Krishna so that he will send you the Guru soon. And the bhakti starts after initiation. So till then you are preparing the field. So initiation is very, very important. Please think about it. Talk to your mentor, whoever it is, what needs to be done. If you are doing 4 regulative principle and chanting 16 rounds, there should not be any reason why. But I would strongly urge to develop the desire, or at least you pray to Krishna. I don't know. Please send me a guru. Show me the guidance. Krishna will show the guru, and guru will give Krishna to you. That's how it works. So please pray sincerely. I also pray. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, to show a proper guru for you. I'm praying bottom of my heart to Krishna to show guidance for you.
Hare Krishna. So thank you all for joining. I think with delay today. So anyway, thank His Grace Goswami Gopinath Prabhu. It was a surprise visit. He came for something else, so we dragged him here. So thank you, Prabhu. Thank you for your time. So we'll end here. So see you tomorrow, same time. Hare Krishna. Nanat pranam. Vanchakalpatarubhyasya kripa sindhubhyevacha patitana pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namo. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Grantara Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.